stay for a bit. Move it up. Move that up. Yeah, move it up. Oh, it's done. Okay, a bit more. Move the thing up. Up, 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 up. More. A bit more. 222 people in the house.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody feeling? Hola from Mexico, Luxembourg. I believe Luxembourg is Archangel Metatron's retreat, if I'm not mistaken. That's a very blessed place to be.
So lovely to see you all your beautiful faces in your comments. We're starting to recognize many of your names just based on how much love we feel from all of you. Today's transmission was actually inspired by, literally, we feel the guides so actively taking part in the times right now. There is such an influx of information that we said, listen, instead of like making 10 videos and describing all of this, let's just bring the guides in live and we'll see whatever transmission comes through. So Siman and I have not prepared. We don't usually prepare for our videos, but this one's a bit more special in the sense we really want that true transmission of our loving guides to come through and whatever messages they have for every single one of you and the collective. I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. I was actually, before we start, we're going to set up create a temple of light very shortly. I was actually guided to share right in the beginning for every single one of you watching to get on our mailing list, because a lot of these platforms that we are on right now are rented platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. All of these are not.
And they're working against us.
We're using them as tools to spread light, but they're rented platforms, and we need to make sure that we are all connected, whether or not these platforms survive these tumultuous times. So we have a feeling like a huge transition will take place in 2022 onwards, with a lot of new social media platforms emerging and whatnot. But for those of you who are not yet on our mailing list, the easiest way to get in there is go to www.houseofra. So it's HOUSE ra.com. So go to houseofra.com. And at the bottom, you will see, I think it says subscribe to newsletter.
You have to scroll to the bottom of the website, otherwise you won't get it. And if you just send us an email saying, please add me to your mailing list, that won't work.
Yeah, don't ask us to mail you. It's super simple.
There's too many requests.
You just put your email and you say, you just add yourselves. And that way, whenever we send out a newsletter, you'll get it. That was the only.
And also check your spam folder to make sure we always send an instant confirmation message to make sure it's not going to spam. So if you didn't receive an instant confirmation from our mailing list, then just check your spam and make sure we're in your safe senders list.
Yes. Yes.
So
a lot of you actually have said to us that House of Ra goes into your spam. So that's super important. Just go into your spam and choose House of Ra and move it to inbox and say not spam. So
welcome everybody. How's everybody feeling out there? And today we're bringing in a special energy from our guides. Our higher guides actually wanted to come in directly and speak through us. So it's like we're just going to be the mediums or the channels here. We're always channeling our guides because they're kind of in our awareness. They're kind of become a part of who we are. We're not differentiating any longer at this point of our evolution that there's something separate from us that is guides. Our guidance is built in. But there are higher beings with higher intelligence who have a bird's eye view perspective on planet Earth, on this entire universe, and how all the dimensions co-create and correlate with each other. So we don't know what to expect, but the energy of what we're being shown is that this is more of a higher perspective to give you clearer answers that are not separate from just the third dimensional perspective. So having said that, just wanted to invite everyone to close their eyes so we can create this sacred space for our angels to come in.
I'll light some sage while you do that.
So take a moment to check in with yourself, and we're going to clear ourselves, clear our auras, and clear our space so that we can raise the collective frequency of all of the audience tuning into this message together. So we raise our consciousness up and our higher guides lower their consciousness to meet us halfway. So it's kind of like a handshake. And depending on which time zones you're in, many people are just coming home from work. Many people are tuning in while doing other activities, listening to this on their headphones. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure that you have switched off other distractions for the moment at least, so we can tune into this mini meditation. And let's start with a deep breath. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out from your mouth.
That's
Letting
more than
go.
a deep breath.
That's an extremely deep breath. So take a few moments to take another deep breath in through your nose, fill your lungs, hold it in. And let it all out. Feel the energy, darkness, anything that is still leaving through your mouth. Feel your body getting lighter. Take a few moments to feel if there's any tension in your body. You can even lie down, relax on your favorite couch, make yourself comfortable. Just relax and tune in. Let things settle down in your conscious awareness. And letting your breath now become more regular, more natural, breathing in and out, but also noticing and keeping your awareness to your breath throughout this transmission, because that's the true connection that we have with Spirit. Bringing awareness to our source of life, pulsating through our hearts, expanding our heart chakras, releasing tension from any muscles. If you need to stiffen your shoulders, move your neck around, stiffen your legs. Just brush off the stale energy from your body.
Stretching will help as well. If you have any areas that needs a release, just stretch, take some spine twists, because the more energy we clear and release before such transmissions, the more light can enter our being. So if you need to, even if you want to just stand up and jump and shake and do whatever feels good to your being right now.
And this is a good reminder that this is not just a message transmission, but also a healing transmission that's sent out from our heart chakras. All the healing being sent from our higher guides, our utmost loving guides, our truest supporters, our team, our support team, our well-wishers, our
family,
cheerleaders. They're all here. They're all sending you hope. They're sending you light for whatever you need to go through in life. And
tune in. Use your subtle senses now to tune into their presence around you. You may not be able to see them physically with your physical eyes, but start tuning into their loving frequency coming into your space. Tune into the realization that they are always here with you, every second of the day. They never abandon you. They're always with you. They're talking to you, guiding you, cheering you. Even if you don't respond or don't talk back to them, they're always with you. And for the next hour or so, for the remainder of this transmission, and also the remainder of the day, hold that awareness of your guides right with you, rather than in some higher dimension that where you can't really access them. Shift your perspective. Shift your perspective to the realization that they are with you with every breath, with every heartbeat. Your guides are a part of you and you are a part of them. Your guides have been with you from the day you were born, and they will be with you for eternity. Your guides may change, they may evolve just like you evolve, but they are always with you.
And let us take a few moments to create a temple of light now. So placing your hands on your heart, breathing gently in and out. We call upon the 12 primordial archangels to surround us with 12 rays of divine cosmic light, all of the rainbow frequencies. Create a pillar of light to cleanse all lower astral negative energies from our space, from our aura, from our surroundings, from our DNA, from our chakras. Feel a whole gush of energy that is not serving you any longer, leaving through your out-breath. Any stale energy, tension, stress, distraction. Put all of that aside, and your only job for the next little while is to tune in and receive. We call upon the diamond light sword of High Priest Melchizedek, which is a multi-dimensional sword of light that cuts through all entanglements in the third dimension, all negative astral entanglements in the fourth dimension. And it infuses your space, your body, and your aura with divine diamond-coated frequencies of light. So imagine this sword of light spinning at the speed of light coming down upon you, and it's large enough to encompass your entire home, creating a pillar of light cleansing as it cuts through all negative stale energies, transmuting them into diamond frequencies of love, unity, harmony, oneness, coherence. And the sword goes from the top, from the great central sun, down through your pillar of light, cleansing your aura, cleansing your home, cleansing your loved ones, and going all the way down through the layers of earth to the great core, and pulling up Earth's golden harmonic 5D new earth frequencies and infusing them into your aura. So as you visualize this, visualize golden particles from the core of 5D new earth, of harmony, of peace, infusing your aura with Christed light, with consciousness, with clarity, with purpose. And we lower Metatron's cube upon our space and ask Archangel Metatron to cleanse our space. And finally ask our higher guides to open up our heart chakra so we can receive all of the healing that they're sending us, and to open up our channeling chakras now fully to send us their direct, purest transmissions from Source Creator. And so it is.
And so it is. Welcome back, everybody. Have you started feeling any difference in the frequency around you? Comment, let us know. Love you too, Akeem and Kat. Yes, I'm sure you can all feel it. It's very tangible. And somebody said, Whispers of Gaia said it's so needed. And that's actually why, as many of you know, Siman and I don't really plan our transmissions or our messages. We just say, all right, what's coming in, and we very impromptu make these messages. And it's very interesting that in the last few weeks alone, so many healing transmissions are coming in, which really means that humanity is most in need of healing right now, more than anything else. It's not the mental knowledge, it's not reading a million books, it's not trying to expand our consciousness through the mind, but right now, the real need is for healing. And I'd like to start with something that I know Siman and I went through many years ago, and I'm getting the feeling that many of you are going through it, or will be going through it, or have already gone through it. So the guides are giving me a very bird's eye perspective of the human collective right now, and not just the human collective, but also life on Earth, life on this planet, where we have the illusion of separation from our Creator. And what they're showing me is that once we incarnate on this planet and we go through the veil of separation, we believe that we believe in this illusion so much that we forget that we are actually placed in a maya, in an illusion, and that we are never separate from our creator. So there's a few messages coming in all around this. I'll start with one or the other because there's two messages directly relating to this, this umbrella. The first one, what I'm being shown this by vision. So I'm going to decode the vision, and then Siman, feel free to jump in. But the vision that I'm being shown is that every single one of us has a 3D personality, or you can call it an ego. We have an ego, and we have a higher self-consciousness. So we have two, think of it as a split personality. The way I'm being shown right now is that I'm looking at Earth from like a bird's eye view, and what I'm seeing is humanity has forgotten between these two beings. They've forgotten that there's an ego and there's a higher consciousness, and many people watching, many Lightworkers, many Starseeds have forgotten that their ego is not them. So I want to explain this a bit more. When you're born, every single one of us is born as pure consciousness, pure love, pure divinity. And as we go about our life, we are told to shut up, we're told to not do certain things, we're told we're not good enough, we're told we're bad boys and girls if we do this, and we're good boys and girls if we do that. And this is basically what is called shadow work. And I'm actually being guided to start a new course on shadow work, so that's in the works. But what shadow work is that as you grow up, you lock parts of you that have been criticized by parents, by your teachers, by your friends, by your classmates. So what I'm being shown is that the ego, so let's go back for a second. As you start locking off so many parts of your consciousness, it's literally like locking several doors within your own being. Several rooms are just being locked off, saying, no, that's not a good girl, that's not a good boy. This is how I'm expected to talk, this is how I'm expected to look. So and also it's not just that, it's also all the burden. That's a huge, it's being shown in red right now in my third eye. All the burden that we carry for society. So for example, when I was young, I would sit on the staircase for like until midnight or 1 a.m. every night to make sure my parents didn't fight. Because every night at around 11 o'clock, my dad would come back. He would go out for a late night drink or for a business meeting or whatever, and he'd come back at 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God, now my mom will say something to trigger him and they're gonna start fighting. And so I, as a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, until I ran away from home as an 18-year-old. I first ran away from home when I was 16. I didn't know what to do. I got caught, I came back home, and then I ran away again when I was 18, successfully. But I was shown that all of this, and every single one of you watching can relate in different ways. We have all these burdens that have been placed upon us, that we have placed upon ourselves as empaths and light workers and sensitives that are still vibrating in us right now. So what I want to go deep with is how this ego personality is formed. So this ego personality is formed initially to protect you. It is formed to make sure you're safe. It puts on a tough exterior when needed. It puts on a masculine appearance when needed. It takes on so much burden, responsibility. And so as you grow, as you get into your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, your whole personality has been morphed from that divine, precious, innocent, pure blueprint to what this third dimensional planet has required of you. Because you've not been raised by, many of us, have not been raised by sensitives and empaths and conscious parents. We've been raised very unconsciously. We've been called names, demeaned. You know, like literally our parents have made fun about different parts. Like my mom would always make fun of my nose, about my boobs. Like literally our own parents have mocked us. And some of the things that she talked about are my biggest assets. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? So our parents have taken their insecurities about themselves and projected it onto us because they are not aware. Oh my God, and this ties beautifully into the other message. This is crazy how the guides give everything so clear.
And while you're speaking, I'm also
My
getting
God.
related messages.
If
at the
you,
same
I'm going to
time.
lose my train of thought though. So we better make a note of everything.
I know what I
Okay.
have to say.
Yeah, it's like the messages are coming in quite
Yeah,
potently.
it's like gush, right?
So what they're saying about this ego personality is that many of you, this is coming in very clearly, you're unaware, you're brutally, I'm talking to every single one of you right now, my friends, you are brutally unaware that there are certain parts in your life where your ego personality is fully in control of you and riding you. You're not in the driver's seat. And if this is happening, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. The way they're showing it to me is that this is happening because you're unaware that that personality within you that makes you act out or misbehave or fight with people or triggers your ego or makes you act not, perfect in some circumstances. This is not you. And this is the strongest message coming in. This is think of it as a split personality, for lack of a better term. Think of this ego personality that initially was created to protect you from your years as a child, from all of that. Your ego personality is always to protect you, but it's gone terribly off. And now that you're in the driver's seat, you need to remind and speak to your ego. Speak to your ego, your negative ego, as you would speak to a child. Like, think about how you would discipline a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old and say, listen, I know you think you know what's good for me. I know you tried to protect me. I know you have been protecting me. I know that you were born as a result of all the harshness on this planet, but it's time for you to relax now because I am back. I am in control. I have done my healing and I am on my path of enlightenment or ascension or whatever you want to call it, my path of evolution. And now you're going to have to trust that I know what's good for me. Now, beyond this, it goes deeper. One aspect is just the awareness of it. When you have awareness of your ego, that's 90% of the job. The other 10% is what onus do you take when your ego is in control? First of all, know that every single person, however high horse, so let's say you've had a fight with a friend. You've had a fight because one day you didn't act, as divine as your friend expected you to act. First of all, let me tell you this, get rid of these expectations, because the person who judges you for one day having a less divine moment or speaking wrong, like having an ego or not speaking right or whatever it may be, that person, if he's triggered by your flaws, it just means that he's hiding from his flaws. We're all in the same boat. So first of all, when you're behaving less than love or less than light, or you're not very happy with the way you've behaved, remember that you always can reset every second. We're resetting second by second by second. So you don't have to think, oh my God, this is me, I'm a horrible person, I'm doomed. So it's very important to understand and start observing when you are your higher self, because there's two sides of it. The higher self has a different frequency. The higher self is very sure of himself or herself. The higher self is in a let me actually talk about the ego first and we'll come back to the higher self. The ego feels very ambitious. The ego feels insecure. The ego is all about competition and gain and, oh my God, she's doing this, I need to do better. The ego is always about division, saying, no, let me break off from that person and then I'll be free or whatever. It's all about division rather than separation.
Test, anytime you're not behaving out of unconditional love, it is most likely a program of the ego, 99.9% of the time.
So that's
an
so
easy
well
test
said,
to determine.
That's why the guides are saying start tuning into the frequency. So this is actually, think of it as homework, and for the next month or two, and you're going to get experts at this now that you have awareness on it. So the ego is all about lack. I'm not good enough. Insecurity. I'm not good enough. That is not you. Your higher self, which is more true to depict who you are God. You're from the soup of God. You are your higher self. You're just on a journey into your own mastery. So the higher self has a different frequency. The higher self is all about unity. The higher self is at peace. The higher self does not have any lack. The higher self is content. The higher self is excited. The higher self is creative. It's inspired. It doesn't say, oh my God, I'm not gonna start this business because they're gonna laugh at me if I don't do well. That's the ego. You see how the ego tries to help you but actually doesn't? You see how that happened? The higher self, on the other hand, will say, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. You're starting a new endeavor or an Instagram or a YouTube channel or whatever. Wow, you need to be so proud of yourself because not everyone's doing this. And it doesn't matter if 5 people watch your channel or 10 people watch your channel, or you don't get any healers. Let's say you're a client and you don't get people for the first 2 weeks, and at that point you say, I'm not going to do it anymore. That's your ego. So right now what I'm being shown, my friends, is that it's the battle between the ego and the higher self is at its peak. And bringing awareness to this and understanding the frequency of the higher self and the frequency of the ego will help you differentiate between the 2 frequencies, and it will help you embody more of your higher self.
Exactly. And you stated some very important points there that I wanted to expand upon. One is that remembering who you are. So who are you? Who are we? Like, how are we supposed to behave? If we're misbehaving, why do we do that? When we're behaving out of our lower ego, why do we do that? How did we come to this point in our evolution? So giving a bird's eye view of how we got here and then diving deeper into these initiations of the higher self that we're going through, we all were masters in the previous epoch of time, 25,000 years ago in Atlantis. We were all masterful beings, and we were granted a lot of powers from the universe. We were granted magical powers. We were given advanced technologies. We were able to coexist with many advanced beings from higher dimensions. But what happened is that we became arrogant, okay? We started reveling in our successes as a society so much that we believed that we are God. We no longer had the humility to recognize the fact that all the powers that are given to us from Source Creator. We're simply vessels. And the original purpose of humans on planet Earth was to be vessels and channels for the divine, which we are now returning to. Similar to the role we're playing, we're not claiming to be these mighty people with all the answers. We're simply, our job is to be channels by clearing our vessel of our ego. So when your lower frequencies are no longer in the way, then the divine and the higher self can work through you. So that's why it's very important. The downfall of humanity began when we became arrogant and we said, we don't need God anymore. We got it from here on. So the whole Atlantis experiment, which lasted the last 25,000 years and is now coming to a close, the whole experiment was based on the notion of testing the theory, what happens to humanity when we cut ourselves off from our own God source? And we've all seen the horrible, horrible things that have happened in the 25,000 years in our history. Most of us don't even remember 6,000 years of what happened before that, but pretty much the same thing that we have all seen: wars, chaos, starvation, disease, disasters. And all of the natural disasters that have also occurred on planet Earth have occurred because our egos became dominant and wanted to take over control. So this was all, our egos took over and dominate us in today, present day society, because we cut ourselves off consciously from God's source. So now, as kind of like our lesson, because there's the law of balance in the law of one, there's a law of balance that if you misuse power, you have to go down in consciousness and deal with survival kind of reality without any power. That's why there's so many people struggling right now. That's why so many people are losing their jobs right now. So many people are dealing with health issues. So many people are dealing with insecurity in their financial future. How are they going to provide for their families? And where we falter, where we go astray, is only seeing the worldview in the third dimension with 3D goggles on. We don't realize that we are responsible for our own creation. And the fact that we are in these difficult lifetimes, in these difficult challenges, in these difficult tests that we're passing through, is that we're going through a cosmic initiation. That is the most important message today. You are all, we are all, not you, us included, every single soul incarnated on planet Earth is going through a cosmic initiation, and that initiation is that of power. So what is the misuse of power? Misuse of power is when we allow ego to control ourselves. And ego is not always this bold, like narcissist that's putting others down. Ego is also letting others take over your power and giving your power away. And that's what's happened to humanity. We've given our power away, and people who like to misuse power have gladly snatched it from us and are now controlling us. And now suddenly humanity is having a great awakening, because this is all part of the changing of the cycle. Now we're being granted our inner vision again. We're being granted, this is not happening randomly that you're awakening. This is all timed perfectly. So you can see, for the past 25,000 years, you've misused power. Now look at what we have created. And now we also have to assume control of our divine authority and clean up our own mess. People always ask us, when will this pandemic be over? When will this be over? When will that be over? It will be over when you decide to stand in your power, when you take the reins back of your life. So people say, well, so many misjustices are happening to humanity right now. Like we can't travel, we're being let go from our jobs. What are we supposed to do? The thing is, we have to realize that these are all cosmic initiations, and when we start surrendering and putting our trust back in God's source, and when we realize all of our blind spots and limitations and return to humility and give respect to spirit and integrate spirit, balance, and harmony into all aspects of our lives, then the doors will begin to open, not before that. This is not about someone coming and cleaning up the mess on Earth. Galactics won't do it. Our leaders won't do it. We are all 8 billion souls. We're all answerable for what has been created, nobody else. And we are all ultimately responsible for the future we create. The galactics, our guides, our angels, they all love us like crazy. They love us more than you can possibly imagine. But they can only guide us. They can only offer us suggestions. Until we start to learn how to live in harmony, how to show compassion, how to recognize our own faults, our own shortcomings, how to recognize where we're manipulating others, where we're misusing our powers, where we're holding back from others, where we're holding back knowledge, where we're still being deceptive. All of these blind spots have to come to the surface. And if you don't deal with these blind spots directly now, they'll be thrown at your face in a more fierce manner until you get it. Yes. So these are all cosmic initiations of the ego versus the higher self.
It's amazing how that tied right into ego, especially because the next message, so I have two things that I want to talk about. One is about family, which I'm going to dive into in just a second, but as he was talking about this, I believe these examples will help you really, really gauge this. I'm going to be quick on this just because we have so many messages we need to share. One of the things that happened to us systematically with spiritual people, spiritual leaders, spiritual guides, spiritual healers, whatever, we've seen this happen time and time again in the spiritual community with people who actually have a following, with people who have success, with people who are trying to get a following. So all like across the spectrum, we've seen one common theme. However high they are in their success, like it doesn't matter. Some of them are very, very successful, world-renowned healers, world-renowned, spiritual guides and coaches. And some of them are like completely, the ones in Toronto were the ones who were trying to make it but couldn't. They've all had one thing in common, and this is very, very important, you guys. Every single one of them has had this one commonality, that they have felt that others are hoarding, taking their information. Others are copying them. Others are So for some reason, this is being asked to be, before we get into family, which is a huge topic in itself. One of the things, like literally there was one time in Toronto when we hosted an event, we just went to a church, we loved it. Somebody else was hosting an event there, and we put out an event saying, oh my God, we found this amazing church with high ceilings, and we're doing our event there. Within an hour of us launching that video, another company messaged us and said, how dare you use the church that we use? And we're thinking, it's a public church, it's a rental space. So one thing, and then the same thing, so why are you copying us? We got there first. That's all the energy of the ego. So I know many of you are facilitators. So if you're getting into this egoic trait in any part of your life, where this is my information, why are you hoarding it? I want you to remember that all information is universal information. It's not like, which is why we never say, oh, if you want to share this, you have to give us credit, because who are we kidding? Like, this is all universal information that has to just freely be shared. The same thing happened when we went to Egypt with this very world-renowned healer and this guy. As far as I'm concerned, he's a scam artist. We went with him, we went on his tour. We came back and we posted a video in the pyramid of all of us like chanting. And he sent us an email saying, why are you using the video of my event and not giving me credit? And I'm thinking, I'm just putting up something that I took on my iPhone inside the pyramid. And it shows you leading. It shows you wearing your t-shirt with your logo leading the whole meditation. But you see how even the highest people with like lots of followers, lots of success, lots of money fall into the trap of the ego. And when you're in your ego, the power doors get locked up. Just so you guys know, this is so important, you guys. Ego is the trickiest, has been the trickiest character in our own ascension, and we watch our negative ego like a hawk. Every single day, we always want to make sure, because if our ego starts taking over, our power will be turned off. Literally, as ascension guides, we have been gifted a lot of power from the higher realms, and we take this power that we've been gifted with a very, with a lot of humility, rather than, oh, we're the shit, you know, and we're getting all this power. In fact, we undershow our power to keep ourselves in check, because power, when you start getting power and success and followers, it's very easy for you to lose sight of yourself and get so deep into the game of numbers and competition and constantly being so ambitious that you're just lost. Like just ambition is great, but it's a trait of the ego if it's not harmonized. Is this making sense? For some reason, know what your ego struggles are for us to see like why this is coming through, because when we read your comments, we'll know what to cover in the next video. We didn't even realize that ego is such a big thing in the collective right now. So the next thing I want to go into is huge. Many of you, I'm being shown, are going through right now what Siman and I went through
7 years ago.
7 years ago. And that is about family. Family, okay.
That's a huge topic.
It's a huge topic. So the guides, we're going to share whatever comes through, of course. The guides are saying, and I have shared this in many of my previous videos in my days as EldoRa Rose, when I had my own channel. This was all we talked about. Like we talked about so many different angles. So go back and watch my video from maybe last year on dealing with family. But what the guides are saying is that just like we've forgotten who we are, we're locked in this illusion on earth, your birth families, your earth families are not your galactic family or your star family or your soul family. There's a huge difference. Now, one other thing that's coming through is many of you might feel really low because you've got all these issues with your family. You've got all these heavy issues going on with like the jab and the test. And I mean, like there's so much going on. But if you're drowning in this drama, the guides are saying, remember that you're part of a cycle. Your soul contracts are ended. Your soul contracts with your families have ended. Do you want to say something about that? There's so much about that.
It's ridiculous how we get the yin and yang of the same message, and it always puts a smile on my face. So while she's talking about family and how we're basically, a lot of us are facing the issue that there's a big wedge between us and our birth families. And why is that? So tuning into the frequency of our guides, what's coming in is the reminder that, dear ones, just remember who you are. You were placed here in these earthly vessels to transmute the darkness on planet Earth. So remember who you are. Again, we resonate with this with a cosmic frequency of a divine transmission. Remember who you are. You are light workers. You came here for a purpose. You came here from higher dimensions of light. You are the cosmic key holders. You are the 144,000. You are the chosen ones. You are the divine ones who came here to clean up all of the DNA lineages, all the family lineages that have been corrupted on planet Earth through human folly, but also through external intervention of negative forces that do not belong to Earth. So remember who you are. Remember that you are the cleanup crew. You are the cosmic cleanup crew, and this is the most important job that you came here to do. You came here to clean up not only your own traumas, your own baggages, but you literally came here as universal heavyweight lifters to clear these immense karmic blocks that have been plaguing humanity for generations and generations and generations. So what does it really mean, dear ones? What does it mean, dear ones? What does it mean when we say that you are here to clear up the familial karmas of planet Earth? What does it really mean when we say you heal yourself and you heal 7 lineages behind you and 7 lineages in the future? What does it really mean? So humanity, as we already mentioned, has gone through these initiations. Humanity was on the brink of ascension in the previous epoch of time, 25,000 years ago, but we didn't make it because we failed our cosmic initiation. We failed our cosmic test. And that introduced the idea of separation and karmic repayment. So all of the mistakes that our souls were not able to learn because of our own pride and arrogance and misuse of power, they kept being passed down generation after generation after generation until each generation could not bear the weight of their predecessors. So they passed it on to their children. Like our parents, they were not mad, they were not insane to treat us bad. They were just humans doing the best they possibly can given the burden that they had to carry. But the only difference between them and us is that you walk amongst the people of Earth, but you are not of them. Take a few moments to absorb that, the frequency of that. You walk amongst the human population, but you are not of them. You are cosmic heavyweight lifters. You are the 144,000s. You are the ones who were chosen from billions and trillions of souls who lined up to be on planet Earth for this exciting, pivotal time. And it is because of the contributions of each one of you, the children of the law of one, the key holders. It is because of the efforts of so many of you, so many of us, that incarnation after incarnation we came and we dealt with narcissism. We dealt with all the trials and tribulations. We dealt with the darkest periods of humanity. We went through immeasurable pain and suffering, but we did not extinguish that light in our heart. We did not allow that light to be extinguished. That is why the human population is alive today. Okay? So think of who you are. The whole human population owes a debt to the work that you and all of us, family of light, that we have done. Humanity could not have made it without all of our assistance. So when we say you are here to transmute family lineage, you are literally, when you try to understand and comprehend how difficult the challenges in your life are, know that you are literally carrying the weight of 7 lineages behind you. You're transmuting all the negativity that has been dumped into you generation after generation, and you're saying stop. It stops here.
It stops
no
with
more.
me.
Because our children deserve love.
Yes.
Our children deserve a better future. I will not raise my hand on my young ones because somebody did that to me. I'm going to be the one, the buck stops here and the line is being drawn here.
Yes.
In the end of 2021, the line is being drawn, baby. We're not taking this bullshit any further.
Yes.
We're changing the timelines. We're literally, through transmuting all of the negativity that's been dumped on us, we're clearing it. We're saying we're not passing this any further. This is it, and it stops here with us. So pat yourself on the back, dear ones, and remember how brave you are, how powerful you are, whether you're dealing with disease, whether you're dealing with financial hardships, whether you're dealing with difficult spouses, difficult children, difficult parents, difficult family members. You walk amongst them, but you are not them. You are superheroes. So remember who you are, because you came here for a ginormous task, and you are not only done, you did not only pass Earth through its ascension, we've already passed the marker, you're not only done, but you passed with flying colors. How cool is that? You came here like a team of light warriors. You came here for the most difficult mission in the universe. You came here to take on a job that all of the higher realms were bewildered when they saw the task ahead, and they thought, nope, it cannot be done, we better destroy Earth. But you said, no, we will not extinguish the light in our hearts because of our love for our human brothers and sisters, and they deserve a second chance. That is who you are. That is why we're here, and that is why we're going through these cosmic initiations, and we're holding hands with all of our human brothers and sisters who are unaware, who haven't caught up yet, but they will. Because every single person who remains on planet Earth moving forward has to pass through the same initiations that you're passing through, that we've already passed through in our 7-year cycle, but there's always higher initiations. It's not a destination. We're always moving forward. So recognize that you are going through immense trials, immense tribulations, but this is all part of the sacrifice that we collectively made to come here and rebuild a planet from scratch. How cool is that? We came here to rebuild an entire planet with new 5D principles of love, unity, harmony, peace. That is why you're here. And the whole checkerboard, the whole playing board is wide open, and we're the ones inheriting this whole planet that's going to be heaven on earth. So your rewards for what you're doing right now are immeasurable. So stay the course, remember who you are, remember how powerful you are, and also remember that you are not alone. You walk amongst them, but you are not of them. We are your family. We are your true family, and you will return to us eventually. We are your family, and we are your biggest cheerleaders. We are the ones who are going to support you in ways you cannot even possibly imagine. But we want you to understand and have faith and trust and surrender that there is a plan for each and every one of you. You did not come here alone. There was a plan pre-marked in your Akashic records. It's imprinted in your DNA. Who you are, where you're going, all your skills, all your talents, all your abilities, all of this is ingrained in your DNA. So just open up your mind, take a deep breath, and do some damage.
Woo! This house just got a lot hotter with that.
Yes.
Woo! Oh my God. Whew. So let's all take a deep breath. Full body chills. Oh my God. Somebody just said something. He said, I'm not a something, I'm a gift. I'm not a victim, I'm a gift. I loved that. I'm sweating too, Kat. So let's go into the yin of that exact same message, because there's something coming in. And this is for, you can close your eyes, you can listen to this however you like. To the beautiful children of humanity, we see you. We love you. And we acknowledge you today for every sacrifice you have made We see the challenge that you are facing right now, in this now moment of this incarnation, in this time-space reality. We see that you are butting heads with your family members, and we'd like to offer a little bit of assistance here because we see many of you need it. We would like you to remember what Siman just mentioned about how you are here to heal and end familial ancestral karma. This damage, this narcissism, this abuse, it stops with you, it ends with you. So in another way, you could look at it as if you were born into these families because you have pre-contracts or soul contracts with these families to incarnate with the mother or the father of your choice, so that you can bring in all the soul lessons that you need to activate your full power and also clear the family lineage. For example, let's say your father was an alcoholic. Let's say your mother had no boundaries and she didn't know how to exercise her power or her voice. Let's say either of them or both of them were emotionally abusive to you or sexually abusive to you. What you are doing, beloved ones, you are healing all of this and saying this stops with us. This is not going any further down the familial chain. This ends with us. We're ending this family karma. So by healing yourself, you're not passing it on to your children and your children's children. Many of you going through these conflicts with your family need to exercise more boundaries with your family members. Back to what EldoRa was saying earlier, exercising boundaries is a very masculine trait. It's a trait that's missing in many lightworkers. Lightworkers have been so abused and so spoken down to that these beautiful, sensitive beings that you are, you have shut yourselves off in major ways and become very soft. Boundaries is coming up as a huge lesson for your progress right now. Somebody shared with EldoRa yesterday that their mother or someone in their family called them and was really rude to them about them getting the jab or something like that, and that the mother was even belittling this woman in front of her 11-year-old son. They were also sharing in the same comment that this family member who called to belittle them also hung up and just like slammed the phone on this person saying, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Now this person went into a state of victimhood of, oh my God, my family is so mean to me, so rude to me. How dare my mom just call my son and speak to her about this topic and complain to him that I've got the jab, and oh my God, I can't see my own grandkids because I have the jab. Like all of this is making lightworkers feel like they're victims. And the message we wish to share with you today is to have stronger boundaries. Go back to what Siman said about knowing who you are. Have stronger boundaries. Use your throat chakra. Hone your throat chakra. Tell your families what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Take back your power. If someone slams the phone on you, just disconnects on you, take that as a very rude behavior, which it is. And then exercise your boundaries and say, listen, if you want to call me next time, I will not be spoken to that way. I'm a sovereign being. You may not be able to use this terminology with them, but have this attitude saying, I can't be touched anymore. You can't abuse me anymore. You can't tell me I'm not good enough anymore because I know who I am. The minute you start projecting this energy out, this energy that you have hidden within yourself, but it's ready to come out of the powerful being that you are. Once you start radiating this energy, wherever you go, your family will back off. They will see the shift that has happened in you. They will see the power that's emerging within you. They will see, oh my God, something's changed, but we can't mess with this person anymore. You will create a shift so deep that it will actually change them, even if it's in the deepest subconscious areas, you will create a glitch in their matrix. Right now, by you being too soft and having no boundaries and letting your children, in this case, this 11-year-old son, seeing your mother belittle you and you doing nothing about it, is actually letting him, your 11-year-old, see that you don't have boundaries, that you don't have an active throat chakra, that you are a pushover, you are a doormat. So my beautiful, beautiful family of light, this is so important. This is the message that all our guides, like all our guides, are saying the same thing. Know who you are and exercise your boundaries, exercise your power, know when to. This is where ego comes in, you guys. This is where ego can be used. Okay, so this is something I want to share with you. You know how we think that divinity is the absence of dark and it's only light? That is the farthest from the truth. Divinity is a complete whole of light and dark. Just like white, the color white, many people think it's the absence of color. So, oh, it's white, it has no color. It's actually not. White is like divinity. It's the totality of all color. That's what white is. So when you're divine, you have the love, you have the light. And like Siman and I say, we're love, light, and fuck you too teachers. That is what has been missing on earth. So how do you incorporate the love, light, and fuck you? By having your ego, your negative ego, can help you greatly. In moments when you have to bring out your inner bitch, in balance, with respect, not projecting, in moments when you need to bring out your inner bitch, or you need to bring out that inner person saying enough, you will not speak to me that way. Your ego can actually help you. It's like an ego on demand when it's harmonized. When it's not harmonized, it runs you. Rather than you being in the driver's seat, it goes into the driver's seat. So it feels like a lot of the messages coming in right now are about ego. And ego just doesn't mean it's a dominant ego. It could also be lack of security, lack of confidence, lack of motivation. All of this is ego.
That was very important, and I'm getting the other half of the same message. And the two messages that I received from our guides are and our guides do swear, by the way. So they said, Lightworkers, y'all need some more fuck you in your aura.
Yes, everybody say fuck you.
Lightworkers,
fuck you!
We all need more fuck you in our aura, okay? We're too meek, we're too sober. We need to fuck shit
Actually,
up
don't comment saying fuck you. Then it'll sound like you're saying that to us.
Hey.
Some. Say we got some fuck you in us. Comment saying we got some fuck you in us. F
Yes,
you. I love that,
exactly.
Barbara.
And anyone who gets triggered by the word is actually playing small. So like we explained in previous videos, fuck you is a teaching. We don't just say it to trigger you guys. Fuck you really is a very powerful energy which Lightworkers are genetically missing. It's literally like the fuck you gene was taken out of us.
Yes, it's too love and light, and trust me, love and light makes me want to vomit.
Exactly. And the second message I'm getting is that we need to be able to let things go if they're not in our highest alignment. Whether it's your mother, it's your father, your children, your husband, I don't care who it is. If it's a blood family or not, I don't care who it is.
Yes.
If it's not in alignment, you have to be ready to let it go.
Because
okay?
you do you. Self-love is all about seeing what is in your best interest and letting go of whatever is not. It's not about saying, oh, let's self-sacrifice. Somebody, Aiko, if you're watching, I'm talking about you, this lovely lady in Japan, her comment was shown to me where she said, EldoRa, I love how you don't self-sacrifice for love. And that would mean me staying in my 20-year marriage because I was so worried about who would take care of my ex-husband, cook for him.
And you made an amazing post about that.
Yeah, and she said it's amazing to see that self-sacrifice is not required. And this is the transmission that came through when she said that, which is why it was shown to me. Only some comments are shown to us when we need to attend to it. And the message was love, and this I'm speaking to a lot of you right now. Love does not require self-sacrifice. In fact,
that was the wrong teaching that was infiltrated into us to keep us weak.
In fact, if there is sacrifice and if there is unhappiness and joy, love is a beautiful, delicate flower. It can't even bloom. So if you're not happy in your relationship or your job or your relationship with your son, or if your children are speaking badly to you, or your parents are speaking badly to you, your husband or your wife is speaking badly to you, don't feel like you have to take it all in the name of love. If you're not happy, if you are not truly happy, you need to find out, what do I need to be happy? Not what does he need, what does she need, what do they need? It is not selfish to do you. You do you. That's the
Right.
message coming in.
And this gives me two different examples that come to mind. So the affirmation that our guides wanted to share with us, you can close your eyes and place your hand in your heart, on your heart, and repeat after me. Any relationship that is not based on love,
Any relationship that is not based on love,
I am now ready to release it from my life.
I am now ready to release from my life.
And so it is.
And so it is. Whew, I love
So let that absorb into your DNA and feel the power of that, because that affirmation really straightens out your pillar of light. There's nothing between you and God anymore. It's not you're trying to please your husband, you're trying to please your wife, you're trying to please your parents or your son or your daughter. You're not trying to please your boss. You are a sovereign being, and there's nobody between you and your connection with God. And that orients you straight to the top, to the path of your evolution. And what happens is, along the way, we pick up, especially empaths, lightworkers are also empathic, that we constantly are picking up everybody's garbage and saying, you know what I see lightworkers as? You know, in the circus where the person who's like juggling 20 things, lightworkers are the ones who juggle everybody's shit. We juggle everybody's baggages to be the ones that are the glue in the family. We say we'll take it on ourselves so others don't have to feel it.
And you know, talking about him, many of you commented on my previous post where we were talking about, would you get energy work, or let's say a massage. Let's talk about a massage. Would you get a massage from someone who's had the jab? And Siman and I were we talked about it a couple days ago, because the lady who massages us, I forget her name, we see her every week. She comes in for 2 hours. She does cupping, as you can see all my cup marks. She comes in and does all of that, and she's phenomenal, but she's jabbed. So when I tuned into my guidance, you won't believe, this is a great story, you guys. I wasn't even planning on saying this, but it'll put into perspective what we're talking about. So I connected, I said, oh my God, I'm seeing this girl tomorrow, but my post is going viral about, you know, this jab and whatnot, because we said we don't want a spiritual counselor or a tarot reader or a psychic who's jabbed, because what advice are you going to give our clients if you're not even awake, you're not even conscious? But somebody said I would never get a massage from someone who has had the jab. So I was like, whoa, I didn't even think of that. Let me tune into it. And this is what happened. And I know many of you are going to love this story. So this was 4 days ago. And I said, I don't know, should we cancel this? Should we not? And I was really looking forward to her massage. And Siman said, yeah, just cancel her if you're in doubt. And I'm never in doubt. Siman's never in doubt. We're very clear. We're either a yes or we're either a no. And we love that. That's actually our biggest gift. We're very clear. We move through life. We do events with 100% clarity. This time I was not clear. I'm like, shit, I have this massage tomorrow. What do I do? Should I get a massage from someone who's had the jab? Now this is personal preference. So if you guys have a different preference, I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's our free will.
Tune into your own intuition.
So when I tuned in, something in me said, no, this is all just fear mongering. You don't need to cancel the massage tomorrow. Let her come in and see if there's a vibrational mismatch of any kind, because she wears the mask. And I hate that she wears the mask, but it's her free will. She wears it for 4 hours, because she does me for 2 hours and then him for 2 hours.
Even though we tell her not to.
So anyway, so we try to keep ourselves neutral, because if we started judging her, then we would pick up all her gunk. So anyway, she came for the massage, and this is the part I want to share with you. The massage was phenomenal as always. And towards the end, I said to her, I said, your energy feels very clean. Because I was like watching her energy like a ninja that day, thinking, vaccine, like, is it affecting me in any way? And it wasn't. And she says, actually, no. This is where lightworkers, you need a little kick in your ass. You know what she said? She says, no. I mean, this is a girl wearing a mask who's had all her shots, you know, the shots. She's had all 4. And she says, no, I'm very particular about keeping myself very neutral when I see clients so that I don't pick up their gunk. And I'm like, what did you just say? She says, yeah, I'm very particular. I go barefoot walking. I'm very particular about clearing my energy. And when I am massaging you, I'm very neutral. I don't see that you're not waxed or you're not wearing this or you're having a meditation. That, like, I'm very neutral, so I don't pick up. And she says, I have very strong boundaries at home. So I know how to take care of myself. I know when to rest. I know when not to rest. I know when to work and when to rest. And that's when I got the download. You know what the download I got was? Lightworkers think they're all clean and like a breath of fresh air, but lightworkers have a lot of gunk in their auras because they don't know how to protect their boundaries. So if I had a person who hasn't been jabbed but does not have any clue about energy, does not have any clue about, like they have weak throat chakras, they don't know how to set their boundaries, they're weak people, but they come and give me a massage and I feel great. Oh my God, they're not jabbed, they're my team. It's actually the opposite. They have entities lurking around them because they don't have boundaries. And guys, for those of you, I haven't talked about it in a long time, but I'm feeling guided to. Siman and I launched our very first course at the Melchizedek Rose Mystery School, which we are founders of. It's called the Psychic Protection Masterclass. Hundreds of students, I think almost 500 students did that course, and every single student has had raving reviews, comments, testimonials. Literally, we haven't been able to keep up. And I'm telling you all that this is a brilliant course for every single one of you who needs stronger boundaries, who needs to understand how to not pick up entities, because just because you're a light worker, it doesn't mean you're clean. One more thing, we had a few healers send us quick recordings to be part of House of Ra, and these healers have entities crawling all over them.
We can see it right through the video.
We can see it in your eyes. So you don't even know all this shit that you're carrying, and it's so important for you. We're going to put the link of the course in the bio, but you can just go to melchizedekrosemysteryschool.com. I'll put the link.
It's in the description.
Guys, it is. I cannot stress this enough. If you've got money blocks, if your ego is saying, I don't need it, or psychic protection, that's
or
not.
I know it all.
I know it all.
Advanced.
No. It's so important.
Every time I talk to like 20-year-old seasoned light workers and I just ask them about grounding, you'll be shocked at how many people don't know the proper way to ground. And this and many other things were literally channeled through us to teach humanity. That's why we chose this topic as our first course, because our guides were like, this is what humanity needs at this critical point.
Parasitic entities.
We need to stop being sponges for other people's negative, because these 3D people are so unconscious, they're constantly going to fling shit around. They're like tornadoes.
Exactly.
So either you join the tornado and become part of their destructive cycle, or you learn boundaries and say, no more, I'm clearing myself up because I'm on my own path. And you can have all of your quirks, but don't bring that shit into my life.
You look hot, by the way, in that t-shirt.
Thank you.
That t-shirt really looks good. I'm just looking, I'm like, wow, he looks really nice.
You look pretty hot.
That's because you've been working out and everything. Show us your muscles.
Oh, come on.
Come on, come on. I'm always making him do this. I'm like, show me your muscles. He won't do it. So fucking
We'll do
hot.
the bodybuilding edition in another episode.
Okay, so he looks really hot. But what were we talking about?
I have no idea.
What were we talking about, guys? Oh, the psychic protection course. Somebody said it. Thank you. Okay, so I think we priced it at $555. Guys, don't let your ego, I mean, there's two ways of doing it. One is you can do the whole course for $555, or you can break it up into installments and do it in like 3 courses. But you know what? This course is fun. It's not boring. We're not boring teachers. This course is fun. We teach you cord cutting. We teach you how to clear your house of entities. It's fun. We teach, and everybody loved the cord cutting so much. I'm almost planning to make it its own module and send out an email. I just haven't had time for that. The course is hot. It's amazing. It's a life changer. And these are tools that every single one of you needs to know. You need to know how to ground, shield, protect yourself, clear your house, have boundaries.
And not accept negativity from others.
This is like a basic course.
And cut cords.
For everybody.
So important. So important.
She got distracted by his hotness. Oh yeah, we get distracted with each other's
that
hotness all the time.
By
Literally. Like I'll be saying something serious and he says, no, I mean, even the other way around. I'll be saying something serious to him and he'll be like,
there are a lot of
eyeing
times
me.
I check you out for your hotness, but I don't say anything.
Oh my God. So please don't say it, because it between us, it kind of starts.
We find each other hot like hell.
Yeah, I always tell him, you're hot and Daniel Craig is hot. And
that's a good compliment.
that's, you know, you're the only 2 guys I find hot.
Thank you.
So yeah, we got off there. But yes, do check out the psychic protection, guys. And listen, you know, this is the thing. When you invest in yourself, somebody said to us yesterday about House of Ra, and I loved your comment, whoever it was who said it. She says, all my life, and we've gone past 75 minutes, so we'll do the next messages in the next video, I'm assuming.
Sure.
You know what she said? She said, listen, I'm a single mom of 3 and I'm bored. I have this void, this emptiness in my life. I haven't really done anything for myself. I'm bored. I have no excitement. And she says, when you released House of Ra for the first time in a long time, I'm talking about our Solstice celebration this December. She's like, I felt excitement. And she says, EldoRa and Siman, I did something I've never done. I bought a plane ticket. I bought a hotel ticket. I bought the ticket to the event and I'm flying there. And she says, my soul is on fire. I have goosebumps as I'm saying this. She says, my soul is on fire. And you know what she says it's doing to her? And if you're watching and you commented, just know that that had a profound, it made me so happy to read your message, to know that you're a single mom of 3 and you're saying, screw that, I'm gonna go do me. And this is what I'm being shown. Every single time you guys invest in yourself and say, I am worthy of doing this psychic protection course. I am worthy of flying to House of Ra. I am worthy of abundance. You're saying to the universe that you are worthy. And remember, once you come in, it could be anything you make, anything you invest in. It could be a retreat, it could be anything really. I'm just using 2 examples. You then create a new timeline for yourself. And once you go to that event, imagine all these timelines being formed as that one result.
You doing you is also a cosmic initiation. It's like when you say, I'm breaking apart from the herd and I am following my soul's calling, whatever that might be. Like it could be to go to Mount Shasta, it could be to go to a spiritual event, conference, retreat, training, whatever it is that your soul is thirsting for. If you run towards that and not stop looking for approval from everybody around you, then you're putting yourself first. That's self-love. So this is all backwards, and this is such a huge topic that we have to go deeper into it in future videos.
Yes. And for those of you who have started, I see a lot of you started it, you finished 4 modules, and on the last 5th module, you're taking some time. Don't stall. Finish the 5th module, because the 5th module of the course, which he recorded, is actually self-healing. It's about how to remove parasitic
entity removal from our chakras.
Guys, these are courses that so important.
And the way we skyrocketed in our ascension, and the very reason for the courses we put out is to teach everyone how to heal themselves, because we're both excellent healers. If we started doing one-on-one, by maybe 2060 we'll be done with our soul family. But if we start teaching all of you guys how to do it yourself, we'll be done in like 1 week.
Yeah,
right?
So this is important stuff, you guys. And honestly, whenever EldoRa and Siman do a meditation, I pass out. We've heard that before.
That's a good sign.
It's a very good sign. It's Naz, high vibes travel, beautiful. There's lots of people flying from LA, from all over the US. Literally right now, I think our local Miami crew is only, what, 20%. Everyone's flying in from all over the US.
It's going to be a huge fam jam.
And guys, you guys are going to come in. There's only about, I think, 60 tickets left. You guys are going to come in and get activated at House of Ra.
We have some crazy downloads that we're receiving for everybody. So people who are physically coming are going to receive the downloads. But people who are holding space from outside and are not able to be physically present, you all are going to get the same downloads. But I wanted to mention here that we're being shown configurations where light workers are standing in sacred geometry and creating sacred spirals, and with very powerful crystals that we're currently in the works of possessing. And we're going to be anchoring Atlantean light. We're going to be anchoring the light that was forgotten at the time of Atlantis, and we're leveling up to our level of consciousness where we left off at Atlantis, and now we're taking it further than humanity's ever been before.
Yes.
So this is very life-changing work. Everyone's going to leave that event transformed one way or another.
And I'm being shown that for those of you who've already purchased the ticket, many of your clearings have already started, because this is not just for this event. Anytime you put down your commitment to a high frequency event, the guides, our team, our heavenly team with your heavenly team, start working towards clearing you guys. So before you even come to House of Ra, you're going to have to be at a certain level of you have to be an empty channel at a certain level to absorb all these lights. So just know that a huge team is actually already working with you, just like they're working with us in clearing us before solstice even arrives. And we do have a few spots for, and this is only for those who are in Miami, because it doesn't make sense for you to be a vendor offering healing if you have to fly in. But if you're a healer or a massage therapist in Florida, in Miami, and can just drive over and you want to work rather than, like, you can either be a vendor and work and offer your services, or you can be a guest. So depending on which one you feel like doing, if you feel like working, email us at info@houseofra.com. House of Ra is House of Ra, R-A. And our assistant Lisa will give you the vendor package and all of that. But amazing. Oh, Eleonora, so nice to see you. Looks like you're seeing Sal. That's amazing. Well, we love you guys. I'm glad we did this. I think we're going to sign off now, but we'll read a few messages for the next few minutes. That's amazing. There's people coming from Mexico. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday, Gloria Bingham. Yes, 574 people in the house, you guys. Love you all so much, so much. Love you too, LJ. Wojtek's in the house. Oh my God. Wojtek, you need hot tea in addition to the cold cleansing.
A lot of people have been suffering from throat issues, from gut issues, and we didn't cover that right now. But basically, a lot of people are purging right now, because right now we're going through all the transmutation of our solar plexus. So intestinal problems, purging, a lot of this is taking place. So just know that one is take care of your bodies, which we've already covered in a few posts. Check them out on Telegram. But the other factor is tune into the spiritual reason behind this. Where are you giving your power away?
Yes.
And where are you abusing your power? These are the two initiations that you need to pass to go through all these purges of the solar plexus.
I love that. And many of you are nauseous. Just know you are being upgraded like crazy.
And throat chakra is also related. Where are you not speaking up? Where are you holding back? Where are you letting others decide what to do, which direction to take versus your own voice? These are all initiations.
Yes, stand in your power. Namaste, love, light, and fuck you too. Love that. So before we go super quick about the word fuck, somebody says not me. It is such an empowering word because the word has no energy. It's the trigger that you have to it that needs to be healed.
No word has any
So if we say fuck, or if somebody says fuck and it has power over you, that means you need to do some healing and say, oh my God.
And if you're triggered and not willing to look at it, then you're not going to grow.
Yes.
Simple.
Yes, we love you guys. It's your favorite word. Okay, that's funny. We're always swearing.
We're converting a lot of people, by the way, to this love, light, and fuck you
it doesn't mean we have to go around using the F word all the time, but it's a teaching.
It's about a vibration. It's about carrying this fuck you vibration, because we've been pushed around so long that if somebody says, hey, stop, go left, we'll start going left. We don't realize, we don't even remember where we're supposed to go.
Yeah.
So having fuck you really means knowing where you're going and not letting outside forces constantly juggle you around.
And it's been missing on Earth. If you look at Earth and it's all so, oh, we love you, love, namaste, and all. It's so freaking one-sided. Divinity is a complete totality of the light and the dark. It's power.
Having
and
fuck you in your aura is having power in your solar plexus.
And again, it's also a harmonized fuck you. It's not like you're going around in your ego.
It's not like you're spitting shit at everyone.
It's not like how your father or your mother spoke to you and used the bad word. It's not like that. This is more
about
of
standing
power.
in your pillar of light.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Eleonora, so beautiful to see your lovely energy here. All right, you guys, I love you all. Please share our videos. Please help us out. Share our videos to all the Lightworker groups, because right now we don't really have a lot of people helping us with that. I mean, we need a crew. We need people to help us spread the light, spread our messages. So if you guys can please do that.
Because we're working against the algorithms that are actually deliberately dimming our videos from being seen by people who need to receive these messages.
Thank you,
so
Joanne.
it's very important. It's part of our light work that whenever a message resonates, we pass it on.
And
we
may
don't just
you all
stop
be
the buck there.
heavily, you know, like sending you all so many blessings and so much love for for like moving this energy around. These are such basic things, but humanity has really fallen in short. People forget to pass, to share, to and right now momentum of the light is
This
key,
is all
you
universal
guys.
knowledge.
Yes,
this
it's
all
so
needs
important.
to be shared with all humanity.
Yes, you're so welcome, everybody. I
We
love
love you
that you
guys.
share, Marie. That's amazing. There's so many Lightworker groups, but we don't have the time to go and share. And right now we need more people to do that
Holding
for
the
us.
light for New Zealand, Australia,
Join us on
Canada.
Instagram. We're on Instagram at EldoRa and Siman. So it's just our first names. EldoRa and Siman, we're on Instagram. I love that. Make Siman go red one more time. Here, show them your muscles now.
Fine, here you go.
Oh, do you see that? Thank you for doing that.
Now you show us something.
Now take off your shirt and show them your...
No. No, bye.
No, I was just kidding. Your cupping mark.
Oh my god, I have
His
like
back,
cutting marks all over.
his back looks crazy. He's got like these, he looks like he's just come out of the Matrix movie.
Oh my god, I really have. I've been unplugged from the Matrix.
He has like cupping marks on his
It
spine.
looks like I was unplugged. It's like all over my back.
He thought I was actually going to take off his shirt. That's so funny.
I don't know what to expect, honestly.
I know.
This troublemaker.
I know. We love you guys. All right. It's so fun talking to you all like this. I can't wait to see you in December. We'll leave you two to it. Perfect. Perfect.
Yes, it's time for our
Oh my
privacy.
God. Siman, every single day he's like, okay, now it's 4 o'clock. Let's disconnect.
Okay.
Okay. We won't go there.
I think we're rambling too much here.
All right. Disconnect now.
Bye.